Good morning, everyone. And here we are. First reveal for the week. I have it's a Chase Manhattan Bank 1960 Philadelphia roll. We're going to be looking at the obverses and reverses on all these because, well, 1960 Philadelphia is one of those years that has both double die obverses and reverses known, and some quite impressive ones as well. Now, what storm are we talking about, Eric? We just talking about a thunderstorm? Or are we talking about a tropical depression or something? I don't know. I haven't really kept up with the weather lately. The west side. He is on the west side of Florida. The daily rain. Okay. Yes, a very typical thing for the Gulf Coast of Florida in the middle of the summertime is basically a thunderstorm just about every day. The only time you don't hear thunder and rain is generally when there is a tropical storm moving through, because most of the time those don't have a whole lot of lightning associated with them until you get closer to the middle. The outer arms of those don't generally have a lot of lightning associated with them. Hello, Jessica. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Get my little roll opener thingy out and start working on opening my roll. I've got the plug end here. Got the little cardboard plug in it. I don't know. I guess it was an automatic injection from a machine or something that would put those plugs in, but I'm telling you, if I was rolling coins, putting a plug on the end of the roll would be a pain. Alright, there we go. Wrapper over the coins. It's a long wrapper. There we go. That's all of it. There's some pretty coins in here, it looks like. May have some pretty ones. I don't know. Let's find out. Coin number one. Coin number one will go to Lucy Ramlow. And here we go. Oops. Coin number one's a little spotty looking. A die crack runs across the head. Got nothing else on the reverse. On the obverse, I'm sorry. I learned what side is what and how to call them. And now for the reverse. And I always turn the features upside down here because it's just easier to see the doubling out toward the rim when you've got these turned upside down like this. I do believe there's some chance I may have a minor double die here. Let's check with a closer look. Well, what I thought I was seeing indeed is not so. We have ourselves a normal coin. I have to get my eyeballs used to looking at this stuff. It's not always readily apparent what I'm doing. Okay, this one turns out to be normal. It's coin number one. Let me get my keyboard out of the way here. You'd think that would be one of those things that I just remembered to do, but it isn't. Here's coin number two. Morning, Joe. Well, I suspect it's a pretty hot one out there today here in North Carolina as well. Wow, look at that. That's a nice early die state. Unfortunately, nothing else to be looking for on it, but it is an early die state. I like it when the design comes out nice and clean on the coins. Oh, I'm sorry, that's number two is Eric. That's Eric Beyer. Now, coin number 3 goes to Sissy Atwell. Make sure I got these in a place where you guys can actually see them. Okay, here's coin number 3, Sissy Atwell. Small die chip inside the upper 9 of the date. A little bit of a die crack on the head. No die variety though. Couple of little minor faults. No die variety. Let's see what we have on the reverse. It's a very interesting looking reverse, but it is not a double die. And so that's for Sissy. 0 for 3 so far. About like my batting average. Let's see here. Late night. One of Late Night's first deployments into the roll hunting craze we call reveals. And I see nothing here. A couple of die cracks on the shoulder. Nothing else on the obverse. Let's try the reverse and see if we come up with anything here. And I see absolutely nothing. So that's for Late Night. Alright, coin number 4. Now coin number 5 goes to Duck Duck. Let's see what Duck Duck has. Not seeing anything on the obverse. Wasn't that weird last night when I opened that 70S roll and it had a, was it 70S? It had a clip right at the end of the roll. Didn't even know that was there. That was kind of cool. Alright, so we got nothing there for Duck Duck. Next coin in line goes back to Late Night. What we got for Late Night? You fell asleep during the auction. You're not allowed to do that. Yeah, I think it was a lot in the 30s. It was either a 70S or a 71P. Opened up the roll and it turned out to have a nice little clip laying right at the very end. Clip planchet laying right at the end of the roll. That was really cool. I've still not sent out any invoices from that last night. I got up a little bit too late this morning to start them before the show. So I'll get to them after the show. So if you were in the auction last night, purchased anything, you'll be getting your invoice after this show. Okay, yeah, it was a 1970S roll, that's right. Some other people have my notes straighter than I do, which I can understand, because I sometimes lack in paying attention to exactly what's going on. It's a repetitive motion of doing almost the same thing over and over and over again that makes me forget particular instances, so I'm sure you can understand. Thomas now. What do we got for Thomas? Well, there's nothing on the obverse. This is a nice coin. There's a lot of pretty good looking ones in here. But we have nothing on this one. Boy, we need to get a roll that hits pretty soon. Getting a lot of misses here. This is for Mike Birchman. Coin number 9. Number 9. Oh, still nothing. Good morning, Jeff. And the coin junkie. A Yo Man up next. Looks like we may end up with another dead roll. You have to try to know. 1960 is a good date to look for double dies, obverse and reverse. Number of nice ones could be there, but got nothing so far out of this roll. Coin number 10 for Yeoman. Now coin number 11, back to late night. This is his last chance out of this roll. And got nothing on the obverse. Let me flip and take a look at the reverse real quick. Got nothing there either. Now let's go for the next one. Coin number 12. Coin number 12 goes to Joe McBride. Mr. McBride. The die crack across the head. The Lincoln has it, not Mr. McBride. Just to be clear. Of course, Mr. McBride may have a crack across his head too. I have no idea. Would have to ask. Mr. McBride, you don't have a crack across your head, do you? Of course not. Got nothing on the... Oh, you do too? Oh, okay. Well, I stand corrected. Number 13. Paul Hampton. Paul back after a nice break. Comes back and grabs a coin out of the roll and gets nothing. Bummer. I was hoping for better results than this, but it is what it is. We get what we get. Life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. Pretty coins. This is Jeff Dunn here. Well, hello, Brandon. Good morning to you. Let's see here. Got nothing else going on in the obverse here. Let's flip it over and take a look at the reverse. I got up this morning a bit discombobulated. I had no idea where I was. It's one of those mornings. Yeah, you wake up. You must have had something going on in your activity while you were sleeping, because when you wake up, you don't feel normal. Not just another morning to hop up out of bed and get going. I had to wonder what I was looking at, staring around my bedroom. I guess that does happen on occasion to people. Happens on a little bit more frequent occasion to me. That was coin number 15. Now coin number 16 goes to Marshall. And Marshall gets a really nice earlier dice state coin, but it appears as though... See, those die scratches below the Y of Liberty will tell us when we run into this again. And nothing on the reverse. Now number 17. Mr. McBride again. Oh, maybe he'll get another crack on the head. Nope. No crack on the head for this one. This one's got different scratches in the lower left. Still no doubling. Yeah, I haven't ever taken sleeping pills. I have. Well, at one time, I guess I did, and the very first one I took made me sick, so I didn't ever take another one. This one's for Eric. Oh, see, Eric's got a crack across the head, too. I'm not even going to ask him. I already know he has cracks on his head. Worth up to $200. Very nice. I had no idea. I started that at 60. I remember that. Thinking, well, somebody will get it for a deal. Let's see. Still got nothing. Still no idea. Duck Duck. Duck Duck gets the next coin. Let's see what it is. It's a little bit of that spider webbing. It's a planchet wash issue from the mint. Sometimes they come out nice and clean. Sometimes they come out with residue on them that turns the area where the wash was brown. And it's kind of like I'd say a streaky type of drying of beads of water and lotion or whatever else they put in with the coins when they're washing the planchets. It happened before the strike. So it's these little spots, these little stains with the little lines coming off of them. Some of them are rougher than others, but this is also one of the good reasons why a 1960 Philadelphia Lincoln Cent and MS-67 red is over $100. They are valuable because most of the coins came out of the mint like this. We have to remember hundreds of millions to billions of coins minted every year. And their job was to make coins that had a design on them for commerce. It was not to make collectibles for us. Still looking for anything that we can get out of this. Coin number 23 goes to Adam Connor. Little cleaner looking coin there. Emergency vitamin packages. Yeah, my dream was a very weird one. Never have I even considered the thought. But in this dream, I had killed someone, and I was running from the law. Yeah, it was just a really weird experience all around, even including the regret that I had killed someone and the grim view on the future that I could never do anything public again if I wanted to stay hidden. But the fact that I wouldn't stay hidden for long, I would end up going to prison and would have to figure out how I could keep my activities going while I was in prison. I'm not sure if you can get rolls of coins in prison. Number 25 now. Lucy. Halfway through the roll. Got no die varieties yet. But we are still looking at every coin just to see what could pop out of them. I can remember a dream that I had one time. There was an old amusement park that had shut down many years before. We're talking about 8 decades that this old amusement park had been shut down. Now this part is a true story. It was an amusement park near a river near Joplin, Missouri, and I lived not too far away from Joplin, Missouri, and my uncle loves to go metal detecting and digging. So in my dream, my uncle and I got into canoes, paddled upstream to this sandbar that was part of the old amusement park. Now this part is not actually true. This part is just part of my dream. And we figured where the land was and got out of the canoe and started metal detecting. I found nothing, was getting pretty frustrated, and I went up to the next opening to the river and started searching there, and we found a signal and dug the signal, and it was an old coin, but there was another coin laying next to it, and another coin next to that one, and another coin next to that one. And before you know it, we were digging in a huge pile of old coins. And the deeper I dug, the fewer stones, rocks, and pebbles there were, and the more coins there were. Hello, Mark Money Tech. And so as I dug and as I went through and found more and more coins, I didn't need the detector. We were finding coin after coin after coin. Excuse me there, had to sneeze. This morning woke up with a little bit of an allergy thing going on. Let me take an allergy pill this morning. This is what happens, Chuck, when you stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning working on stuff and watching TV and go to sleep and wake up the next morning clambering around to get up and get your coffee and get your day started. You don't think about your allergy pill because you're more concerned about getting on camera. Is what it is, right? Okay, here's Carl Ignatz. I've never actually asked him if that's how you pronounce his name, but I can't imagine there'd be a different way. Ignatz. Ignatz is the only way I could think to pronounce it, unless it was Ignatz. Long time now have I been studying how to pronounce names properly, because mine is very commonly mispronounced. So I always like to do the best I can at pronouncing everyone's names properly. Because I can remember when I was younger, I was kind of a difficult person, you might say. Not that I'm not difficult now, but I'm a lot less difficult now than I used to be, thanks to medication. True story. But I used to get very frustrated with people that they didn't just read my name. You know, you look at it, you look at half of it, and you just assume what the rest of it is. And if a person was to actually read my name front to back, exactly as it appears, they would always pronounce it correctly. So it just didn't make any sense to me how people would mispronounce my name just for the sake of it. Coin show is in Tampa. Oh, we're talking about Tampa, the Tampa coin show. Where is it? At the is it out on Fowler? At the Big Top Flea Market, or what used to be maybe still is the flea market. Is that where it is? That's where I remember a Tampa Coin Club show out there a couple of different times. I enjoyed the Tampa Coin Club shows. It was fun to go to, though I don't live in Florida anymore, so I don't go to them. I did get a notification in the mail. This right here was for the Collectorama show in Lakeland. I see it says November 19th to 21st. And it was mailed on the 26th of October at 2 p.m. out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Here's the other side of the card that tells you about where the show is and that you can bring this to get free admission. I received this card on the 6th of June, 2021. Thank you, United States Postal Service. I only got it 9 months late. Come on, people. Really? 9 months to get me a postcard? You know what? I tell you what. If it's going to take you 9 months to get a coin show alert to me, how about you don't bother? Right? No, I would actually prefer that they give the postage fee back to the show organizer and tell them that we're sorry that we're incompetent and cannot mail things in anywhere near the right amount of time, and you should consider using a different service. That's what they should do. If it was a letter from Mom, sure, better late than never. Definitely, if it was a bill, better late than never. But 9 months to give me a notification on something that was 3 weeks after the card was mailed? Card was mailed in plenty of time to get wherever it needed to go to be sure that that notification was properly made. Except for the incompetency of the United States Postal Service. Thank you, USPS. You're fired. I'm sorry, Marked Money Tech. Doubling between the last two pillars. The coin for Carl. This is the one for Carl. Doubling between the last two pillars. Well, let's see. Aha. I see what you're talking about. This is actually part of the design on the coin. That would be, as you look at perspective going deep, that would be the column behind the column that you see there. They also do that over here on this side. Yeah, it's on both sides. And then the doubling that you see on the columns beyond either side of Lincoln, would be this one here and this one right over here. Those two, that's the opening of the area of the building where the statue sits. So this is part of the opening of the front of the building. So those two lines are supposed to be there. And then this line over here inside column 1 and this line over here inside of column 12 are actually the profiles of the columns behind those columns, because the columns go all the way around the 360 degrees of the building. So that's what that is. Good eye, though. You found doubling. It is, but it's just intended to be there. Oh, I'm sorry about this nose of mine. Coin number 36 goes to William Cresson. Mr. Cresson, a now longtime member of the family, has been coming around for quite some time. And is one of the brothers of the club and gets a normal coin. So much for that, huh? Well, I don't think we're going to come up with anything in this roll. We're already at number 37 now, coin number 37, and have provided absolutely nothing of interest. One of the shows that I always made sure that I attended when I lived in Florida was the Green Acres Show. The Green Acres Show is in the Polish American Club on, let's see, Lake Worth Boulevard. I think it's Lake Worth Boulevard. Or Lake Worth Avenue, whatever they call it. In the Green Acres area, not too far from Haverhill. And Green Acres is near Lake Worth on the Atlantic coast in Palm Beach County. Definitely a show worth going to. They've got 30 to 40 dealers there. A big crowd. One-day show once a month. I don't know how COVID has affected it, because I've not been there since COVID. I moved here in September of 19, a few months before COVID got going. But I had lived in Green Acres prior to that. Oh, look how clean this one is. One little spot right up there under the inn. I've actually seen coins grade 67 that had little spots like that. This one's got a little weakness in the center of the steps. That's going to keep it from a 67 grade. This might grade a 66 though. 66 will be a $15, $20 coin, so it's probably not worth grading. Wow, you can't be vaccinated? Oh, good. So I would assume that includes flu vaccine, smallpox, and all those other vaccines. I mean, it's not just one vaccine you can't do. It's probably all of them. That makes today's world difficult to live in. The problem isn't the amount of germs that we have going around or any more than what we used to have. The problem is that we have lived such sheltered lives on almost completely pre-processed crap that our bodies have become less strong than they used to be back in the 1800s when, well, basically you could eat an egg off a cow pile and not get sick. And now, just don't do that anymore. You study plants on the side? Very nice. I have just recently rediscovered a plant that was something from my childhood days that I had almost forgotten existed living in Florida. But now that I'm in North Carolina, I can get it very quickly, very cheaply, and very easily. It's called pokeweed. Pokeweed actually makes very good greens if you cook them properly. And they're actually quite good for you as well. It's coin number 41 now for Lucy. Lucy. Got nothing there. This one's a much worse looking coin for wear. A Proof 52 Ben Franklin $50 Bugs Bunny. Well, while you're at it, if you're looking at proof sets for that, why don't you look at the Proof 1952 quarter for the Superbird? That would be a quarter with a little S shape in the center of the chest of the eagle on the reverse side. Comes only on the proofs. Duck Duck now, coin number 42. The 1960 large date is the second of two designs. There was a small date that year. I'm sure most of you are familiar with it. The small date was minted only in a few days in January. The Philadelphia Mint shut their processing of those down, I'm understanding, after 1 or 2 days, and then started minting the large date. And then the Denver Mint, they minted through a whole truck full of planchets first. And then they pulled the small date dies after, I don't know, maybe a week or two of processing. Is this a... look at it, maybe a double die here. Nope, not a double die. So that's why there's a lot more of the 1960D small date cents than there are the 60 plain small date. The reason for changing the design to the larger date with more opening in the digits was because when they first made the design of the small date and started minting coins with it, the dies kept breaking. And they figured it was a bit of... It was a bit of a design flaw. So they changed the design to make the lettering areas larger, make the digits larger, so they wouldn't have the problem that they had with that small date. Adam, yes, I understand. I appreciate that. With pokeweed, you have to pull the new growth off. Use only the new growth. Leaves generally smaller than your hand. You can use the older leaves. However, you have to cook them twice. You have to pour off the water, cook them twice. And by the time you get to the second cooking of them, they're kind of rubbery and not very good. So I typically, to get good greens, you just pull off the new leaves. And I still pour them off twice anyway. You saying green coffee bean? As in uncooked coffee? Is that what we're saying, Brandon? Not sure I completely get it. I don't even know where you can get non-roasted coffee, nor what it tastes like. Does it taste like coffee? I'm not sure that I would really like coffee unless it actually tastes like coffee, because that's part of the whole gig is the smell and the taste. If it smells and tastes like, I don't know, refried beans, I don't know that I would really like it. How about them Olympics, everybody? How about the Olympics? I was watching some of the swimming. It's not as exciting as it used to be. I guess maybe because I'm getting older. But I've been recording to watch a lot of the events that I would normally never watch, just because I was glued to, well, basically the network television. Network television typically does not show things like skeet shooting and archery, and what was another one I watched? The kayak. They call them canoe slaloms, but they're, where I was raised, the boats they're using were called kayaks. Yeah, I never really cared much about the fans. I just like watching them do the sport. It's interesting what you learn about different things as you're watching. It's like what things are called. For instance, if you don't know anything about any of the parts of a boat, you learn bow and stern, you learn the keel, you learn all the different parts. And it's just something, it's an educational experience, you might say. Down to the last coin in the roll, I'm going to be so bold as to say it's probably going to be a normal coin, but this one's going to Carl Ignatz. Oh, they have golfing in there now, huh? Yeah, golfing is one thing I've already seen enough of that I don't need to watch any more of it. It's kind of like volleyball. I've seen enough of it before. I know enough about it that I know I don't need to know any more than I do know. So watching it would not be of any benefit. This one got a little brown on the end because it is the end coin. It faced the crowd. Turned its back to the crowd, actually. So that's it for the coins. That's all we've got this time around. I don't mind the golfing at all as long as I'm doing it. But if I'm watching it, just not for me. So there we go. We got 50 coins. Unfortunately, all of them are normal coins. And what do I have here? Let me check my schedule for the day. And let's see here. I'm gonna put a slide together that'll show all the times for. That way I can show the slide at every show, so you can plan to be there for the next show. So I don't have to go looking this stuff up. 3 in the afternoon. Today, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, which Coin Hunter, of course, is 12 o'clock noon if you're in Pacific Time. So it's 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Cold brewed coffee. I don't know. Yeah, I would not be into any coffee that doesn't taste just like coffee. No powders, no supplements, none of that kind of stuff. I just want coffee. I get up in the morning, I'm groggy, I'm sleepy. I just want to hit the machine, get some coffee, and wake up. All right, folks, that's it for this one. Well, I'll see you back here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Today, we're going to have a 1959D First National Bank of Atlanta original bank wrapped roll. So I'll see you guys then. Have a great day.